At night, memories tend to surface with a clarity that feels different from the daytime. It is not that the memories themselves have changed, but the conditions around your mind have shifted in subtle ways. When the day slows down, the mental noise that usually keeps memories buried begins to fade, and the mind starts doing something it does best when left alone, quietly reviewing the past. During the day, your brain is busy managing tasks, conversations, expectations, and decisions. Even when you think you are relaxed, part of your attention is always scanning what comes next. This constant forward focus leaves little space for reflection. At night, that pressure eases. There are fewer demands, fewer interruptions, and fewer reasons to stay alert. As the external world grows quieter, the internal world becomes more noticeable. The brain has a natural tendency to organize experiences when it is not actively responding to the environment. Nighttime provides the perfect conditions for this. With fewer sensory inputs, the mind begins sorting through stored information, strengthening some connections and loosening others. Memories that were brushed past during the day now have room to rise to the surface. Lighting also plays a role. Darkness reduces visual stimulation, which allows the brain to redirect attention inward. Without bright lights or moving images demanding focus, mental imagery becomes easier to access. Memories often appear as vivid scenes because the brain is no longer competing with the present moment for visual processing power. There is also the emotional side of memory. Nighttime is when emotional defenses tend to soften. Throughout the day, people unconsciously suppress certain thoughts to stay functional. At night, those protective barriers lower. Memories tied to emotion, especially nostalgia, regret, or comfort, slip through more easily. They do not feel louder, just clearer. Sleep pressure contributes as well. As the body prepares for rest, the brain shifts into a slower rhythm. This slower pace allows thoughts to linger instead of being rushed aside. A memory that might have been dismissed in seconds during the day can now unfold gradually, revealing details that seem lost. Another factor is context. Many memories are linked to quiet moments, evenings, or periods of stillness. When night recreates those conditions, the brain recognizes the similarity and retrieves related experiences. A calm room, dim light, and silence can trigger memories simply because they resemble the environment in which those memories were formed. Time perception changes at night. Without clocks, schedules, or immediate obligations, moments feel stretched. This expanded sense of time allows the mind to wander more freely. When the mind wanders, it often moves backward. Memories fill the space that urgency leaves behind. The brain also uses nighttime to evaluate emotional experiences. This process is part of how emotional regulation works. Revisiting memories helps the brain decide what still matters, what needs resolution, and what can finally be let go. The clarity you feel is often the brain examining those memories without distraction. There is a reason memories at night often feel more vivid, but also more gentle. The mind is not trying to solve them. It is observing them, without the pressure to act. Memories lose their sharp edges and become stories rather than problems. Sound plays a part too. Silence amplifies inner experiences. During the day, background noise masks internal dialogue. At night, that mask disappears. Thoughts echo more clearly, and memories ride along with them. This is not because they are stronger, but because nothing else is competing for attention. Biology supports this process. Hormones associated with stress decrease in the evening, while those linked to relaxation increase. This shift encourages introspection. The brain becomes more receptive to subtle emotional signals, which often accompany memory recall. Memory retrieval is also influenced by fatigue. As the brain tires, it relies less on controlled thinking and more on associative thinking. This means one thought easily leads to another, creating a gentle chain that often ends in a memory. These associations feel natural and unforced, which makes the memories seem to arrive on their own. Nighttime removes social performance. During the day, people are constantly adjusting how they think and feel based on others. At night, that pressure disappears. Without an audience, the mind feels free to revisit moments honestly, without editing or explanation. This is why memories at night often feel more personal. They are not being filtered for usefulness or relevance. They simply exist. The mind allows them space because there is nothing else demanding attention. There is also a sense of safety involved. Darkness signals rest, privacy, and withdrawal from the world. When the brain feels safe, it allows access to deeper layers of memory. These layers often include early experiences, subtle emotions, and half-forgotten moments. The brain is also naturally predictive. During the day, it looks forward, planning and anticipating. At night, with fewer future demands, it turns backward. Reflection replaces preparation. Memories come forward because the mind is reviewing what has already happened instead of preparing for what is next. The stillness of night encourages repetition. When the environment does not change much, thoughts loop gently. A memory might return multiple times, each time revealing a new detail. This repetition creates the feeling that the memory is clearer than usual. Smell and temperature can also trigger memory recall more strongly at night. Cooler air, familiar nighttime scents, or even bedding textures can activate associations stored deep in the brain. These sensory cues often bypass conscious thought and go straight to memory. It is important to understand that this clarity is not always accuracy. Nighttime memories feel vivid, but they are still shaped by emotion and interpretation. The calm setting allows them to unfold smoothly, which gives the impression of truth, even when details are softened or altered. This does not make nighttime memories unreliable. It makes them meaningful. They reflect how experiences were felt, not just how they happened. The brain prioritizes emotional coherence over factual precision during rest. For many people, nighttime memory recall becomes a form of quiet storytelling. The mind narrates moments from the past, connecting them into themes. This narrative process helps create a sense of continuity and identity. When you lie still, your body is signaling that it is safe to remember. Muscles relax, breathing slows, and the nervous system settles. In this state, memories flow more freely because the brain is not guarding against immediate threats. The absence of movement also matters. Movement anchors the brain in the present. Stillness loosens that anchor. When the body stops, the mind drifts, often toward familiar mental landscapes. Nighttime also removes the pressure of productivity. During the day, memories are often dismissed because they do not serve a purpose. At night, usefulness does not matter. The mind explores simply because it can. This exploration can feel comforting or unsettling, depending on the memories that arise. Both responses are natural. The clarity you experience is the brain doing quiet maintenance, sorting, reviewing, and integrating experiences. Eventually, as sleep approaches, the brain begins consolidating memories. Those that surfaced earlier may be stored more securely or reshaped. The act of remembering before sleep helps decide what stays. This is why memories sometimes feel resolved after a good night's rest. The brain has processed them in the calm, uninterrupted space of night. So when memories appear more clearly at night, it is not because the night pulls them forward. It is because the noise of the day finally steps aside. The mind, given silence and time, does what it has always done. It remembers, and in that remembering, it finds patterns, meaning, and sometimes peace.